Niccolò Machiavelli, a 16th-century Italian diplomat and writer, understood the game of power. He lived in a time when political landscapes were constantly shifting, and survival often depended on one's ability to navigate these treacherous waters. His world was one of ruthless rulers, shifting alliances, and constant struggle. In this volatile environment, Machiavelli observed the actions of those in power and took meticulous notes on their strategies and tactics. Out of this chaos, he wrote The Prince, a guidebook for acquiring and maintaining power. This seminal work was not just a reflection of his observations, but also a practical manual for leaders who sought to thrive in a world of uncertainty. Machiavelli's lessons remain strikingly relevant today, even in a world seemingly far removed from Renaissance Italy. The principles he outlined continue to resonate with modern leaders and thinkers. His ideas challenge our conventional notions of morality and goodness. Machiavelli dared to suggest that the ends could justify the means, a concept that still sparks debate and controversy. He argues that the pursuit of power often clashes with traditional ethics. In his view, a successful ruler must be pragmatic and willing to make hard decisions that might not always align with moral expectations. To succeed, a leader must be willing to set aside personal morality when necessary. This controversial stance has led to Machiavelli being both revered and reviled throughout history. Machiavelli's focus was not on being good in the traditional sense. Instead, he was concerned with effectiveness and results, believing that the ultimate goal of a ruler should be the stability and prosperity of their state. He was interested in what worked. His pragmatic approach to leadership emphasized the importance of adaptability and shrewdness. He believed that a ruler's primary duty is to preserve stability and order. This, he argued, was the true measure of a leader's success. To achieve this, sometimes, a leader must make difficult choices, even if those choices appear cruel or unjust. Machiavelli's insights continue to provoke thought and discussion, reminding us that the nature of power is complex and often paradoxical. Machiavelli argued that the appearance of being good is often more important than actually being good. He believed that the perception of virtue could be a powerful tool in the hands of a ruler. In a world where people are quick to judge based on what they see, appearances can be everything. He understood that people are easily swayed by appearances and perceptions. A ruler who can master the art of appearing virtuous can manipulate public opinion to their advantage. This manipulation isn't necessarily malicious. It's a strategic move to maintain stability and control. A ruler who appears virtuous can gain the trust of the people, even while acting in ways that serve their own interests. This duality is at the heart of Machiavelli's philosophy. He saw the world as a place where the ends often justify the means, especially in the realm of politics. He saw morality as a tool to be used strategically, not as an unbreakable code. In his view, rigid adherence to moral principles could be a liability in the cutthroat world of political maneuvering. Flexibility and pragmatism were key. A ruler should appear compassionate, honest, and religious, but be prepared to abandon those virtues when necessary to maintain power. This doesn't mean a ruler should be devoid of these qualities, but rather that they should be adaptable. This doesn't mean a leader should be intentionally cruel or deceptive. Instead, it means recognizing that sometimes difficult decisions must be made for the greater good. The ability to make these tough choices is what separates effective leaders from the rest. It means understanding that in the pursuit of a greater goal, sometimes difficult decisions must be made. These decisions might not always align with conventional morality, but they are necessary for the survival and prosperity of the state. Machiavelli's ideas might seem shocking, even repulsive, to those who believe in absolute morality. His perspective challenges the notion that morality is black and white, suggesting instead that it is often a shade of gray. However, he wasn't advocating for evil, he was simply a pragmatist. He believed that in a world where others are willing to break the rules, adhering to strict moral codes could lead to ruin. His advice was meant to equip rulers with the tools they needed to navigate a complex and often ruthless political landscape. He believed that in a world where others are willing to break the rules, adhering to strict moral codes could lead to ruin. In essence, Machiavelli's teachings were about survival and effectiveness in leadership, even if it meant bending the rules when necessary. Machiavelli used the metaphor of the lion and the fox to illustrate the duality required for success. This metaphor is not just a relic of the past, but a timeless lesson that continues to resonate in our modern lives. The lion and the fox represent two sides of the same coin, each with unique strengths and weaknesses that, when combined, create a formidable force. A ruler must be both strong and cunning, capable of inspiring fear and respect. The lion's strength is not just physical, but also symbolic of courage and the ability to take decisive action when necessary, while also being shrewd and adaptable. The fox, on the other hand, represents intelligence, strategy, and the ability to navigate through complex situations with finesse. The lion represents strength and decisiveness, essential for dealing with enemies and maintaining order. This strength is crucial in moments of crisis, where quick and firm decisions can mean the difference between success and failure. The fox embodies cunning and the ability to anticipate threats, crucial for navigating complex political landscapes. This cunning allows for the foresight to avoid pitfalls and to seize opportunities that others might miss. This balance is crucial for navigating the challenges of any competitive environment. Whether in business, politics, or personal relationships, the ability to switch between these two modes can be a game changer. In the modern world, we may not face literal wars, but we encounter competition in our careers, personal lives, and social interactions. The battlefield has changed, but the need for adaptability remains the same. Knowing when to be bold and assertive, like the lion, and when to be strategic and adaptable, like the fox, is crucial for achieving our goals. This duality allows us to be versatile, responding to challenges with the appropriate strategy. Machiavelli believed that relying solely on strength would make a ruler predictable and vulnerable to cunning opponents. Strength without strategy can lead to downfall, as it lacks the subtlety needed to outmaneuver adversaries. Similarly, relying only on cunning could lead to a lack of respect and ultimately invite challenges. Cunning without strength can be perceived as weakness, making one an easy target for those who are more powerful. It's the combination of both that creates a leader capable of weathering any storm. By embodying the qualities of both the lion and the fox, one can navigate the complexities of life with confidence and resilience. One of Machiavelli's most controversial assertions is that the ends justify the means. He argued that the morality of an action should be judged by its outcome, not by its inherent nature. If a ruler needs to employ ruthless tactics to achieve a greater good, such as stability or security, then those actions are justified. This principle is often misinterpreted as a license for cruelty and tyranny. However, Machiavelli believed that a ruler should only resort to such measures when absolutely necessary, always weighing the potential benefits against the potential consequences. The key is to act decisively and effectively, minimizing collateral damage and ensuring that the desired outcome is achieved. Section 5. Friends and Enemies. Navigating Shifting Alliances. Machiavelli understood that the political landscape is constantly shifting. Friends can become enemies, and enemies can become allies depending on circumstances and self-interest. He advised rulers to be wary of making long-term commitments and always be prepared to adjust their alliances to suit their needs. This advice holds true in the modern world. We encounter constantly shifting dynamics in our personal and professional lives. Understanding that people act in their own self-interest can help us avoid being blindsided by betrayals and disappointments. It also allows us to be more strategic in building relationships, always aware of the potential benefits and risks involved. Section 6. Image is everything: the art of calculated perception. Machiavelli recognized the power of perception in shaping public opinion. He believed that a ruler must carefully cultivate their public image, projecting an aura of strength, competence, and virtue. This involves understanding how to use propaganda, symbolism, and even deception to influence how people perceive them. In today's world, where social media and mass communication dominate the flow of information, managing one's public image is more crucial than ever. Individuals and organizations alike must be conscious of how they are perceived by the public. This involves crafting a compelling narrative, engaging with audiences effectively, and controlling the information that is disseminated about them. Section 7. Love and Fear, the Currency of Control. Machiavelli argued that fear is a more effective tool of control than love. While love is fickle and easily broken, fear is a primal emotion that compels obedience. However, he also cautioned against using cruelty unnecessarily. A ruler who is universally feared will inevitably face rebellion. The key, according to Machiavelli, is to find a balance between inspiring fear and earning respect. A ruler should be feared enough to command obedience, but respected enough to avoid inciting hatred. This involves using force strategically and proportionally, never appearing weak or indecisive. Section 8. Modern Machiavelli, applying ancient wisdom today. While Machiavelli's teachings were written centuries ago, their relevance to the modern world is undeniable. The principles he outlined in The Prince provide a framework for understanding power dynamics, navigating complex social situations, and achieving one's goals in a competitive world. These principles can be applied to a wide range of modern scenarios, from business negotiations to personal relationships. Understanding how to leverage power, influence perceptions, and build strategic alliances can be invaluable for anyone seeking to succeed in their chosen field. Section 9. The Price of Power, a Necessary Evil. Machiavelli's ideas remain controversial. His willingness to prioritize pragmatism over traditional morality makes some uncomfortable. However, his work forces us to confront the uncomfortable realities of power. In a world where individuals and institutions constantly vie for influence, understanding these realities is crucial for navigating the complexities of human interaction. While we may not agree with all of his methods, Machiavelli's insights into human nature and the dynamics of power are as relevant today as they were in Renaissance Italy. By understanding these principles, we can become more effective leaders, negotiators, and individuals, capable of achieving our goals and navigating the challenges of a complex and often ruthless world.